Hi, boys and girls. Welcome back. We've learned so much about Abraham. We've learned about how he obeyed God when God told him to go to a new land, how he believed God's promises when he promised that he would have a son when he was 100 years old. Abraham trusted God, but now Abraham is coming close to the end of his life, and he has one more thing that he needs to do. He needs to make sure that Isaac, his son, finds a wife. He doesn't want him to find a wife in Canaan, where they are living now, but back home among his father's relatives. And so Abraham calls his best servant and says, please promise me that you will go to my father's country and you will find Isaac a wife there. Abraham said, I have walked faithfully with the Lord. He will send his angel with you. He will give you success on your journey, so you will be able to get a wife for my son. She will be from my own relatives and from my father's family. Abraham's servant promised that he would go to his father's land and to find him a wife for Isaac. So he got his camels and took gifts from Abraham and set off on his journey. The servant knew how important this was to Abraham, so he prayed to God that he would give him success. When he got to the town of Nahor, he stopped at a well, and he asked God for a sign. As he finished praying, he looked up and he saw Rebekah. She asked him if he needed a drink, and then also gave a drink to his camels. And this was the exact sign that he had asked God for. So he knew that this was the girl for Isaac. Rebekah was beautiful, and she was also kind. She agreed to go back to Canaan and to marry Isaac. This showed that she had a lot of faith and trust in God as well.
Hi everyone, let's review what we've talked about in the last few weeks. So, first we talked about Abraham and Sarah, and when God told them that they were going to have a baby, but they were so old. But then, after a little while, God kept his promise, and Sarah had the baby, and they named him Isaac, and they called him the son of laughter. And then, in the next lesson, we talked about Abraham's nephew, Lot, and how he got to have a new land, and he picked the prettiest one, but it was full of evil. And when they had to leave, Lot's wife looked back and she became a pillar of salt. And then last week we talked about Abraham and his son when they went to the altar, and Abraham put Isaac on the altar, but before Abraham could do anything, God said stop, and he stopped him from doing it because it was just a test. He just wanted to see how much Abraham loved him. So that shows how much God loves us, and he wants us to learn more about him and do what he says. So I think it was very cool that we got to learn about Abraham, and I hope y'all enjoyed your last class. Bye. It was really fun teaching you.